Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here. Welcome to another NeuroCloud video. So I've been asked by a lot of players actually with regards to team compositions and unit synergies. So let's take a deep dive into some of the god comps that were listed from the CNOBT open beta test, which is essentially their full release. And those comps have been tested in the CNCBT as well as the global CBT. So I'll bring and provide some examples of those team comps, and hopefully you'll find one that suits your need, because not only are we going to take a look at the best team comp in my honest opinion, but also some of the other ones that are really good as well. So on the screen you can already see from the screenshot that this is I think this is the best comp for progression at the moment. So it's centered around a single core, which is your sniper Hubble, and then you have Nanaka plus the free unit Persica, and then the free unit Croak, and Angela, right? So insane synergy. Your DPS is going to come from Hubble, your heal is going to come from both the Nanaka as well as Persica, and the tank in Croak, and the essentially utility in Angela, increasing your enemy's cooldown and then decreasing your own team's cooldown. So they've also got 2 slots to replace units in terms of using either a Florence. So Florence allows in exchange over Persica to prevent a one-shot because of that damage reduction ability. So it's definitely a viable choice if you want to run Florence and you've pulled both healers. But Persica later on is really good, just because throughout the tutorial of the story you'll be able to 5-star her for free basically. And there's also another one, Rise. So Rise, or Rise, some of you may call it, is another viable unit, but she's lower stars. I think she's 2 stars if I remember correctly. Basically, she's there to offer damage increase, but I don't think you should worry too much about her because again, she's not a base 3-star, so not as easy to build. And I just want to draw your attention to this video. So this video is one of the players, the veterans, that cleared all of the content basically with these units in 3 days. 3 days, okay? So let's take a look at what he did. So again, very similar team comp. This is the exact team god comp that we talked about over here. You have your Hubble, you have your Croak into the Nanaka, Angela, and Persica, okay? He also built Rise. Again, very similar to here, right? But he said that it was not used very often, so it pretty much can be anyone here. But I think Rise still is okay in that regard. And then this is the, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's a Russian name, I believe. Let's take a look. One of the units I don't have currently at the moment is right here, Dushe something. So this is another unit that you can use, but I think that spot is rather flexible. So let's take a look at the other comps. As you know, that was in my opinion, the best progression comp in the single core sniper, right? There are other comps. You can have a dual core sniper. So for these, again, centered around Hubble, but instead of another healer, you can run the free Fresno. Fresno is the ranged sniper. You can run the dual sniper alongside Nanaka to have that AoE ground heal to make sure they have survivability. A lot more explosive in terms of damage, absolutely, but survivability a bit more, lower in that regards. I think most of the time, the core team, if you run 1 tank, 2 healers, 2 DPS, that's essentially what allows you to clear most of the content. So you can do this version as well, and then just Angela, you can swap Angela for healer if you want to, but this is the other very popular dual core sniper comp. Moving on, we have our close range. So we have 2 banners, right? Aki and Hubble, and they separate the units into obviously warriors versus snipers. And if we take a look, I have both my Hubble and my Aki at 4 stars already. Okay, they're very good. Hubble AoE damage, has CC crowd control as well, and Aki is just a beast, especially if you can get those bleeds up. So in the CN back then, they essentially said, you can do a single core warrior team composition with Aki. Ignore the other units for now, but you can do Aki, and then again dual healers. So we don't have this at the moment, but we can do Pascal into Nanaka's not good here, okay? In my honest opinion, for the single core warrior, you don't want to run Nanaka, you want to run Florence, right? Because Nanaka again excels at healing, under her, so that area heal under her is not going to work really well with warriors that move around. And then for your 5th slot, because of course we have to run the tank Croak, for the 5th slot it's rather flexible in the sense that you can run Rise or you can run Angela, so that is very similar to the sniper composition. And then you have your dual core warrior. So for us, I think the most viable one is of course Aki, and then instead of these units it's V. You run Aki and V, all right, and then you run a healer either in Jin or Florence. I think most people, because the damage reduction, should still go for Florence, and then you can actually run a instead of the support Rise or Angela, you can actually run Persica right here, right? And then of course we have a tank. They put a different tank this time, but I think for most of us we can run a Croak here. So the dual core warrior will be Aki into V, into 2 healers or 1 healer plus 1 support, and then into your tank. In my opinion, that is one of the better ones, because V is actually a pseudo warrior. She is able to attack from range, so you don't have to worry too much about her clogging up the melee space, because that's one thing, because you have to run and surround the enemy if you're melee, and there's only so many sides you can attack from. All right, okay, so anyhow, that is a quick rundown of the team compositions. Again, personally my favorite is this one, right? This is the comp that this person used to clear the story mode as well as the depth abyss thing in 3 days. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's very doable because we've got 1 free unit, 1 2-star unit, another free unit, a unit that's in the selector, and you can just grab Hubble from rerolls, and yeah, those are 2-star units as well. So anyhow, that is a quick rundown. I'm trying to go as fast as I can because it's a lot of information to digest, but I don't want to drag this video on forever and ever. Let me know if this was helpful, and if you want more guides, leave a comment. And yeah, it's TimaeuSS here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye now.